Tinubu directs Abel Eniton to replace Beta Edu as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. Wow. So following Beta Edu's suspension from office, and obviously he has been removed. That she has been removed. That is what it means. Okay. We understand the history of how she was suspended. Her access pass to Aso Villa was removed from her. President asked EFCC to go and do detailed investigation, and at the same time, her international passport has been seized by the EFCC. So with all of this happening, now she has been just not suspended, but now completely replaced. That means she has lost her job. It's a very serious one, I must tell you the truth. But now, why did Mr. President replace her with a Yoruba man? Are there no other persons from that same south of Calabar or any other tribe that should go there? This is another nepotism anyway. But again, let's dive into the details to see how this happened. A report by Punch indicates that Abel Eniton has assumed office as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. It is important to point out that he replaced Beta Edu after she was suspended by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu earlier this week. It is important to point out that she was suspended after she directed the Accountant General of the Federation to transfer 585 million naira into a private account. Punch also reports that Abel Eniton assumed office after he received a letter from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on Monday night. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity stated that Beta Edu was directed to hand over the affairs of the ministry to the Permanent Secretary. Exactly that was what happened. And she still did not show any form of remorseless. I'm telling you, the shortest tenured minister in this administration. So it is important to note that the fact that Beta Edu was appointed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu after he assumed office in 2023, she is currently being investigated by the EFCC for the money laundering and illicit fund transfer from government account into a private account. So with all of this now, she has been removed. But she is already dancing in TikTok. She is not even showing any form of remorseless. And that is why Femi Falana called her out to say, apologize to Nigerians for insulting the sensibility of Nigerians. Okay? If you committed an offense, you should be remorseful, rather than saying that your detractors are the people behind your ordeal and that the accusation is baseless. That was what she said. Now, for this woman, and now she's off the assignment. She has been removed. No wonder, what is his name? Shehu Sani again from Kaduna Central said the woman that wanted to remove 50 million Nigerians out of poverty in 40 months has been removed from the group. Now she has been removed from the administration, from the cabinet. So all this I will remove from poverty. I will remove you from poverty. I will do this. I will do that. As if she's doing it with her own money. As if she's a philanthropist. Now she's out. So how is she going to do? The question is not just being out on a very bad note on the fraud saga. So how is she going to, fulfill that again? It's not possible. So now she's out, and under investigation. Let's see if people are already reacting to her replacement by Tinubu. So your captain is misleading. Your caption is misleading. It is the custom in public service whenever a thing like this happens, that the political head of the ministry hands over to the administrative head, permanent secretary. This does not imply replacement as a minister. You don't understand. Why can't you read very well? They say the Betaidu handed over to the permanent secretary. Now someone else has been nominated and taken over, as resumed office. Eniton is someone else. Okay? I don't think Eniton is the permanent secretary. Is Eniton the permanent secretary of that administration? Tinubu directs Abel Eniton to replace Beta Edu as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. There's now. So is Eniton the permanent secretary? No. Yeah. So we know that Tinubu earlier this week, okay, had directed that after suspending her, she should, hand over, um, to the permanent secretary. Okay, Edu was directed to hand over the affairs of the ministry to the permanent secretary. Yes, so it is important. So all of these, um, the question is Eniton the permanent secretary, which I don't think so. Okay, which I don't think so. And my prayer is that God, any position you put me, also give me wisdom to excel. Exactly. Hmm? So the fact is, she lacked wisdom. Beta Edu lacked wisdom. The ministry should be scrapped. It is needless, okay, non-productive. Exactly. Inexperience might have been her problem. Procurement and financial management procedures and processes in public offices, okay, it's not the same as that of political party office. Exactly. Exactly. So she lacked wisdom, and running a political party is not running a public office like a ministry. So she lacked that wisdom, and that is why she has lost that position. And this is not good for her anyway. Okay, but she's not even showing remorseful. She's not showing remorseful. Some civil people, these civil servants know how to mess up appointees. Well, I don't believe in any of these guys. Corruption is in their blood. Exactly. Exactly. The civil servants are actually very, very. When you don't dance to their tone, they know how to do the record so that you go into trouble. Okay, probably they just ill advised Betaidu and she fell into the trap, and now she's gone. And the permanent secretary is not there. You'll not be surprised. And the permanent secretary is even out. I think somebody has been appointed to take over the ministry as minister. Okay, so the way it is now, fear permanent secretaries, fear senior civil servants. They are the people that are actually sustaining corruption from regime to regime in all of the government parastatals and ministries and parastatals. Okay, I feel so sad for her. She should be given a second chance. How should she be given a second chance? What does the policy, what does the law say about such offices when you violate the law? Tinubu is more than Buhari. 1 million times kudos to President Tinubu. For what now? Uh, people are people are suffering, and you are talking here. Hmm? So now, somebody say, child is so quick to go due to corruption. Yes, now. And there are more of them. There are more of them. Like people are calling for the suspension of Tunji Ojo, the interior minister. And even Femi Gbajabiamila, which is a chief of staff to the president, is also somebody that very soon they will finger him in some of these corruption activities. So I want to say your caption is unprofessional. How? In democratic system of government, it is individual responsibility, not collective responsibility. Ex-National Secretary Advisor under Jonathan. So what does that mean? Now, if Ebe Enito is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, was he not carried along in releasing the purported letter? Exactly. Eh? The purported letter to the Accountant General of the Federation, did he advise the minister to the contrary, and the minister rejected his advice? If this is the case, Enito can rightly hold the fort pending the appointment of a substantial minister. So, but Abel Enito, the permanent secretary, was part of the scheme, or was it just a set up to expose the inexperience and greed of the minister? Yeah? Is it replacement or acting capacity? That is the question. I think it's acting capacity because Eniton probably is still the permanent secretary. So from the content, it is obvious that Eniton is the permanent secretary. Now, wow. Okay. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.